This video is for Year 9. This is for the week beginning the 15th of June. This is your lesson 6. So first thing to do is write down your title. What was so important about the Berlin Wall? A couple of really good images there for you to start to get your head around what we mean by the Berlin Wall. Berlin's a really good city. If you ever get the chance to go there, definitely go. Lots of obviously bits that you can actually still see. So they've taken obviously the Berlin Wall clearly down, and we'll see that during the lesson. But they've now got it as kind of like this open air gallery, and it's really cool. And it's great kind of like to see kind of like the history obviously through the city in terms of the fact that it was divided for many years, and there's lots of good kind of like I said history around there. There's a brilliant museum at a place called Checkpoint Charlie. It's a really good museum. All right, so Berlin's a really cool city. So let's see what we're going to learn today. So we're going to see about the role that the Berlin Wall had in the Cold War. We're going to explain about obviously kind of like why it changed over time and how it changed over time. And again, we have an understanding of Germany, right? We have an understanding of what's happening with Berlin. We already know it's an issue within the Cold War. So just kind of like link it back to your lesson 5. Right, keywords for today. Obviously just again, ones that we've been studying already, but just a little reminder about communism, capitalism, democratic. You know, what do we mean by East Germany and obviously kind of like West Germany. Don't forget the Y. And then we've got a new kind of like character that we're going to be introduced to today. A man called President Gorbachev. Again, if you speak to your parents, they should kind of like recognise his name because obviously he was very much in the news a lot in the 1980s, going into the start of the 1990s. And yes, he did once star in a Pizza Hut advert. So let's now get started. So we've got a little bit of information just to read, a few little cartoons to look at. So look at the picture, read the information. So this is kind of like stage 1 in Berlin. They don't have the wall yet. Let's kind of see what's happening in Berlin. All right, so again, as I said to you, just have a little look through, make sure you understand obviously kind of like what's happening. And then our task is to answer these 2 little questions. So how was life different in East and West Germany, East and West Berlin? So again, you should have seen that through looking at the pictures and reading the information. So just tell me how it was different. And then what happened in East Germany? I really seem to be allergic to a Y. So East Germany, Berlin, and why? What impact would it have had on the reputation of communism? And we kind of like keep these types of questions through the various stages of the development of the Berlin Wall. If you're not sure about anything, there is a support slide. All right, so make sure that you are looking at that. I kind of like directed you to looking at certain images. All right, so use that to help you. Then the next stage, so 1961 to 1985, again, read the information, really quite a fascinating time in Berlin. You know, the wall is up, but people are still trying to escape. Really interesting. And as I said to you, if you ever go to Berlin and you go to the Checkpoint Charlie Museum, you can see lots of things that they use kind of like to try and help them escape. So look at the cartoons, read the information. And then we've got 3 little questions just to answer. How did life for people in the East Berlin change after the wall was built? How did people try and escape? Try and find more than one answer. Like I said, there's lots of ones mentioned there. And again, all about this impact of kind of like the wall on the reputation of communism. Again, if you're not sure what to do, I've referenced obviously kind of like the picture numbers there for you. Then I want you just to have a little look at the role of JFK, the American president, when he visits Berlin. So there's a little clip for you just to watch, and really interesting comment that he made on that day. He obviously wanted to kind of like have a bit of solidarity with those people of Berlin. So he ends up muttering the phrase, "Ich bin ein Berliner." All right, so again, I'm a Berliner, I'm with you, I support you. but yet no one told him that Berlin was also a German donut. So a little task, why do you think he visits there? And again, support slide to help you as well. Then we move on to the last little phase. So this is now 1985 to 1990. Right, really quite modern history. Right, I kind of vaguely obviously remember seeing stuff like this on the news. I knew it was a big deal, but obviously I didn't really perhaps, understand it completely. So look at the cartoons, read the information. There's Gorbachev, I mentioned earlier. Really interesting. Really interesting kind of like the concept of popular protest as well, which obviously we're starting to see a lot of in our kind of like daily news at the moment. But this is all about people power, it's popular protest. Really interesting. Again, a couple of little questions for you to answer. Right, how does he cause change? He's a really different character as a president to some of the others. If Stalin was still the leader, I'm not sure that he would have let Berlin go as such, that he would have let East Germany kind of like just have to defend themselves. Gorbachev, like I said, really interesting character, very much kind of like forward thinking, really quite modern in his outlook, and we'll come across him in a few more lessons time as well. Really interesting man. Again, a little bit of support to go with if you're not sure about what you need to do. And then I've said, can you just now choose one image? All right, so I put 3 pictures in there, choose one and try and explain what it obviously shows. So you've got first image there, second image, third image. All right, giving you a few little hints that you might want to help to use. Then we've got a little recall test. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell me what you've learned from today's lesson. And then remember what I said, maybe have a conversation with your parents about the Berlin Wall, see if they remember anything to do about it. Then we've got quick, focused little extension task for grade 6 and above. All right, a 3, 2, 1. So can you think of 3 reasons why this wall was built? Can you think of 2 effects of the wall being built? And then can you think of 1 effect on the reputation of communism? All right, so short little focus, 3, 2, 1. All right, and that is lesson 6 now done.